Welcome to another FurCon 2024.
Does everyone's mouth have a mouth?
I don't know who I am anymore! It can't just be all suits!
It's what created life on this planet. It's what will take it away if it wanted to. The 1980s. John McEnroe ruled the professional tennis circuit. Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Willis dominated the box office. Big Hair, Ronald Reagan, Iran-Contra, Pac-Man, Galaga, neon-drenched arcades littered with sweat-blotched quarters. And amongst all this, cartoonists Ken Fletcher and Reed Waller were working on their magazine, Voodie, dedicated to animal-focused art. This small niche exploded, giving people from all over the United States a shared sense of community. This all culminated on January 21st, 1989, in a Holiday Inn in Costa Mesa, California, where the first furry convention was born. Conference. Attendance, 65 people. Fast forward, this snowballed into a community so great and so prominent that even if you aren't a part of it, you've heard of them. Welcome back, everyone, to your favorite dating show, Vibe Check. Now, Cindy, we're down to our final 3 contestants. Is there any last-minute questions you'd like to ask to your potential suitors? Well, Pat, I'm definitely feeling a spark from these 3, but let's see who has what I really want. Contestant number 1. If we were together late at night and you wanted to impress me, how would you go about doing that? Well, I know that you want to go longer, harder, faster, more intense, you know, and I can do it anywhere, any place, anytime, on the dry land, in the deep sea. I'm not afraid to get wet. I'm not afraid to make you wet either. Wow, really impressive there, don't you think, Cindy? I didn't ask for your input, Pat. Contestant number 2. If I was looking for some sexy shaft play, how'd you going about handling that? Oh yeah, I'm pretty self-sufficient. You know, you can just kind of pop me on and I'll do my thing, do my job. I do it well, but I'm all about mutual satisfaction and just making sure we're both getting what we need. Oh, mama, me likey. This isn't about you, Pat, okay? Contestant number 3. We all know that pleasure can be found all up in and around these parts, okay? How would you help me experience full body euphoria? Cindy, with my deep sonic technology, I'm getting you in places that you never felt before. I got both A-spot stimulation and sonic wave feature for a clitoral stimulation to rock your world. I'm making you pray to a god that you don't even believe in, okay? With my deep sonic technology, I'm getting in parts of your body that doctors thought was impossible. Oh, that sounds really nice. Well, Cindy, who's gonna pass the vibe check? Ah, shucks, Pat. This is gonna be really hard to choose. Well, what if I told you, you don't have to? That's right, Cindy. You can not only have all 3 of them, but so much more. Are you insinuating that Lilo is currently running a Valentine's Day sale featuring exclusive deals on all of their products, including the ones featured here? Are you also insinuating that this V-Day sale is going on through all of February because love knows no bounds? Are you also saying that people can take advantage of these V-Day sales with up to 50% off of some items? Are you also saying that people, no matter the kind of relationship, whether it is near or it is far, can connect with each other on the Lilo app? And with their new Love Bridge feature, can control each other's toys with just the press of a little touchscreen button? Is that what you're saying to me, Pat? Yes, right you are. Listen, why settle for less when you can experience unlimited pleasure all month long? with Lilo's special V-Day sales. That's right, click my link below to unlock deals up to 50% off. Plus, use my code for an additional 15% off your next purchase. That's right, it's stackable. Lilo, give your right hand a break for once.
Being a boy of the internet, I've known about furries for quite some time, but my knowledge has only been surface level. When I think of a furry, I think of the usual. Someone dressed up as a fox, or a wolf, or mayhaps a doe. For some reason though, there's an inherent weirdness that I feel towards this community. And I'm not sure why. What's so wrong in my brain about dressing up in a fursuit? What's so weird about expressing that childlike whimsy inside? These are the questions that sparked my interest in learning more about the furry fandom, and eventually going to my first furry convention ever, another FurCon 2024 in Ontario, California. But I was afraid. I didn't want to go through with this. I felt like I didn't need to go, but then I got a little call from my longtime friend and editor of the channel, Justin. He said something that piqued my interest. There will be live foxes there. Live foxes? I said. How cool, I thought to myself. For there to be both animal and manimal under one roof, under God's great Ontario Convention Center in Ontario, California. Again, how cool. So I said yes. And what happened next blew my brains back out. Hello and welcome to another FurryCon 2024. This weekend, we're here to learn more about the furry community and what it means to be a furry. What are the best things about the community? How do these people find themselves? And maybe, how can I find myself in the furry community? Let's get started. The first 2 days of the convention were everything I expected and more. A market where people would sell their art and wares, panels about things you would expect. Hi, Sonic.
Yeah, that's fun.
And panels about things that I should never mention out loud. An area to play video games, places to rest, places to hang out, and a maid cafe. Yes, there was a furry maid cafe, and I just so happened to obtain tickets to said cafe. More on that later. But what stood out to me the most was the different people there. I wanted, nay, needed to know what made them them. So I asked them.
Godzilla, can I interview you? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
What was your first kind of, for lack of a better term, awakening when you were like, oh, this is something that I really connect with, this is something that I want to get more involved in?
And I watched like Zootopia, like Lion King and all that, and it was also like, I thought like, oh wow, this is cool.
Thoughts on Judy Hopps?
Do you think that the movie Zootopia was revolutionary for the furry community?
Zootopia did for the furries what the old Robin Hood movie back in the 70s did for Lost Generation.
Can you tell me a little bit about your persona?
I'm a fox. I like to eat, as you can see from my big belly.
How did you come about finding your persona? What was it about the specific animal that drew itself to you? How did you find that connection? And how would you recommend someone find that connection?
For me, I started this journey at Gen Con a few years before 2019 when I went to the Paw Star booth and picked up a pair of clip-on ears. And the reason I'm a fox is because the pepper fox ears that they had were the ones that best matched my hair at the time.
What is it about the fox that you love? Is there anything about the creature of the fox that you have a connection with?
A little bit of the mischief, the dapper gentleman, and raiding the chicken coop.
Who am I here with today?
You're here with Lobstars or _Lobstars on Twitter and other social platforms.
Okay, well, we're gonna have a little axe throwing competition real quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm here.
And while we do that, I'll ask you some questions as well, because you said you had a fascinating story.
I do indeed. I have something that'll really tickle a lot of people out here. Not pun intended.
So you said that you have a story.
I do indeed. I have a story. It's about ocean furries.
Okay.
Ocean furries are misrepresented and just overall slept on, you know?
Okay.
There's a lot of them out there. They're in hiding, I know they are. But I want to bring them to the spotlight.
To the spotlight.
To the spotlight.
Do you think that crustaceans are above every other sea creature?
I'd say even every life form.
Every life form?
Yeah. They can survive nukes. They can survive it all.
What about, well, not all. Do you think that having more sea creature furries would impact this convention in a positive way?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine like the jellyfish dance from SpongeBob. That could be the rave of the century.
That could be the
right
rave
there.
of the century.
And full of like a fish and a whale. Like, come on. We want a convention. All ocean furries want a convention based around ocean-dwelling creatures. We want the theme to be ocean. We want the panels to be ocean-based. We want the groups to be ocean-based. Everything. Protect the ocean, man. It's here for us. It's been here for us since day one. It's what created life on this planet. It's what will take it away if it wanted to. So, you know, respect it. Pick up your trash from the beach. Don't litter. And just, you know, pick up. Like, if you see a bottle, just pick it up.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. We can do a cool claw shake. What do you think about lobsters? You can say if they suck, it's fine.
Lobsters are pretty interesting. I think it's pretty interesting that they used to be considered like bottom of the barrel food, and now they're like super expensive.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. Do you think that lobsters are elitist? Hello. We are back and we're here. Well, you're dressed as Sonic. Are you Sonic?
No.
No. Is this your first convention?
Nope.
How many conventions have you been to?
27.
So a lot of people that I've talked to this weekend have a really deep connection with their fursona. What is it that you connect with Sonic?
Well, we're both born the same year, so that's the one thing we have in common.
Nice. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
That's it. What has been your favorite part of this convention so far, Sonic?
So I've been getting stopped like crazy for photos. A lot of people can't get enough of me.
Yeah. Do you like that or do you not like that?
I like it. It's fun.
Nice. What is your favorite part of the furry community?
I like just checking out all the suits that people make. They are really awesome.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Sonic. Would you mind giving a little spin for the camera so they can see?
But as I interviewed these people, one common thing kept nipping at my heels.
I don't know how to explain it, but you give possum energy, and I mean that as a compliment.
Possum energy. Okay, in what way?
I don't know.
Okay.
Really chaotic, honestly. Like, really chaotic. Just kind of likes to get into trouble. So,
okay.
I mean, kind of fitting, yeah.
Ferret. Yeah, we see that.
I'm not familiar with you, but I was looking at your hair, and I think that you'd be a sea otter.
It'd be some sort of like media. There are some sonas that are like televisions or like cameras. Okay, like freaking Skibbity Toilet. They have the freaking camera people. And those are not really personas, but like you could technically have a character that represents you that way.
Maybe like a ferret or a coyote.
Okay, why is that?
Just kind of gives me ferret vibes. My brother gives me coyote vibes too.
Ferret
it's nothing
vibes.
offensive. Ferret vibes.
This got me thinking, what would my fursona be? If I could figure out what animal I was, maybe I could figure out in turn who I was. This got me going down a rabbit hole of identity. I needed to find my fursona. I needed to find myself. So I sought out some of the best artists in all of Ontario, California Convention Center to depict me.
And a lot of people have said different things about what I should be. They said I should be a cat, a possum, something, something. Would you be able to do, the most recent one I think was a possum. Would you be able to do a possum for me?
Absolutely.
Great. And you do them all live?
Yep.
Oh, with Crayola too?
Yep.
How did you get into this, Katie?
I started doing it at anime conventions, like back in 2016. And I just never stopped.
When you think of the core values of a possum, what do you think of, Katie?
Lots of teeth.
Lots of teeth? What do you think they care about?
They probably care about whatever the heck they can get for their next meal.
Okay. The scavengers.
Although the illustration was incredibly lifelike, it didn't quite feel like my life. But maybe I just needed to think more like the possum. Maybe I just needed to worry about my next meal.
Is this? Oh, this is the maid cafe. This is the maid cafe. This is the maid cafe. This is the maid cafe.
Is this the maid cafe?
Yes, this is the maid cafe. Welcome, welcome.
What's the maid cafe?
Maid cafe is a dining experience.
A dining experience? Like a full-on, like there's food?
Yes, and we have a full-on like play experience where we interact and we just have a great time with it. It's just helping you just enjoy your experience and eating while you're just being around with maids.
That's wonderful.
Really familiar.
No. Should we go in? Should we go in?
Now, I didn't want to disrupt any of the other patrons in the cafe, so we kept filming to a minimum. But what I will say is the service here was absolutely divine. The food left a bit to be desired, but being waited on hand and foot by these beautiful, caring, and joyous maids is a memory that I will truly never forget. Now with my little snackies out of the way, I could continue exploring the convention center, head to toe, up and down. But as I rounded a corner, I stumbled into something unexpected, something that felt old and sacred, something that I could only assume was a mating ritual. I came to learn that this was in fact no mating ritual, but a dance competition. As they twirled and leaped and moved their feet, I was stunned that not only did these people really know how to dance, but that they could do it all suited up as well. In normal everyday life, I've never had the confidence to dance like that. Were the fursuits having an opposite effect than I thought they would? Instead of these people feeling embarrassed in their suits, it seemed like everyone was 1,000 times more comfortable with themselves. The suits seemed to act like armor, shielding them from any negativity or criticism that the world threw at them. Maybe if I tried on a suit, I could find that confidence too. We'll get back to that in a minute, but first there was a question I had to ask.
The furry community, looking from the outside in, there's a lot of stigma attached to it. What do you think is the best way to change that stigma?
There's two things in my opinion. Number one is, if you actually want to change that at all, and number two is like, yeah, how? First of all, some people don't want to change that stigma. There's a saying that keep furry weird, which means we shouldn't adapt to society's normals. We think there's nothing inherently wrong with what we do, so we shouldn't have to please other people.
They were right. Why should I care about what other people think? And their confidence pushed me out of my comfort zone and into a pair of boots.
Can I try on some of the feet?
Oh, sure. Which ones are you looking to try on?
Can I try on the pink one?
Yes. These ones will glow in UV.
Oh.
Yes, so this one's going to be your left foot. It's got out.
Oh, cool.
So push it down. It's like a giant house shoe, nice and comfy. The polyfill is going to kind of conform to your leg. So these are digigrades, so it means that it looks like a real-life animal's leg.
Wow.
There
And
you
they go around. Wow.
So you got a little hump here, and it gives you that illusion.
The illusion.
Yeah. Get you brushed out, nice. What do you think?
It's pretty sick. It's so comfortable.
I know, right? It's like we're in a nice house shoe.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
You want to check out the UV? Let me get
Yeah, really bad. There's UV. Comfortable.
You're going to be nice and bright
Wow.
on the dance floor.
Even the white. Thank you for letting me try it on.
Yeah, no problem. You
It's
want to
very...
put both on at the same time and walk around?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Same thing. I can help you if you want. I'll let you try it. If you need help, let me know.
Could be my new house shoes, honestly. How are these washed?
These
and
ones,
especially with like a full suit, how does that work?
so with partial feet like this, the bottom, if you lift it up, you can see it's a rubber sole.
Okay.
So you want to put that, if you're washing it through the machine, everything I make is machine washable. So think of it like a giant stuffed animal. It's got polyfill in it, but because of that hard part, when you put it in the washing machine, it's going to go on the outside. That way your machine doesn't get messed up and it doesn't rough up the feet.
So if someone has a suit that's too big, how do you normally wash the suits?
Typically people will hand wash it, so they'll put it in the bathtub and kind of soak it and mush it around with detergent, and then they'll hang dry it, and that takes a while, so you got to put it all on a fan.
Do you ever just wear these around the house?
Oh, yes.
They're really comfy.
Absolutely. I've got hardwood floor and it gets really cold, so I make myself a pair of feet and just walk around with them.
Oh, yeah, can I walk?
Yeah, have the catwalk.
I was feeling pretty good in these boots, but there's no way I could get that full confident feeling without trying on a full suit. And then a friend reached out his paw to help. The Odd Ones Out, a known creator, animator, and to my surprise, furry.
I'm James and I'm a furry.
Offered to let me wear his fursuit to walk a mile in his paws.
I've never been to a furry convention, and so I was like, maybe I'll come to a furry convention. What do you think? It's really cool. Everyone's really nice.
Right? You know what? I need to get Furby for you. The blue dog. You need to put on Furby.
I have to put on Furby?
Yes, it's upstairs, yeah.
Who's this?
So this is Furby. Have you ever put on a furry head before, Ethan?
Never in my life.
I was wearing this a little earlier, so it might still be a little moist.
Oh yeah, it is a little moist.
I know, I'm sorry.
It was just on for just that way.
Oh.
Life-changing, right?
Wow.
How do you feel?
I don't know. It's kind of freeing in a way. What do I do?
What do you do? I like to hit them with one of these. Get some like leg action in there. One of these. You really can only like move your head. That's a bit like the only option you can do.
This is the first moment of the rest of my life. My walk around the convention center in the fursuit was freeing, but fraudulent. It wasn't me. This was James's character, and I was just getting a glimpse into his life. I took pictures and stole glances, but the glances were for somebody else. I gazed around at everyone else in the convention center, everyone knowing who they were. With my furry frolic coming to an end, it only made me realize I was more lost than before. I knew nothing about myself.
Oh gosh. Sorry, I made Bash all sweaty. Not too much James sweating there.
Right, now you know why it's all sweaty, right?
Now I know.
You gotta like do a whole lap around there.
It was pretty cool. But I don't think this is my persona, you know?
No, yeah,
this is you.
Of course, that's the whole part of it.
How do you find yourself?
You gotta like take elements of other like characters that you like. You know, like I really like Bowser, so I have like a spiky collar and stuff. Actually, no, I don't, but it's the same with any character design, you know? You just gotta like take pieces of things that you like, put it together, see what works. Have any like, anything that you're leaning towards?
I don't know. Someone said that I was a possum.
Sure.
And I was like, that's kind of cool.
Sure.
Someone said that I was a cat, and I was like, eh.
Okay.
I don't know.
Also, like, look at other fursuits of like, or characters that you like, and like I said, there's no wrong answer.
Bash is a pinata.
Yeah, there's a pinata.
It did feel shockingly safe.
Right?
I was like, wow, I feel all right in here.
Everything's gonna be okay. I have no peripheral vision, and it's great.
Yeah, other than walking upstairs, I felt totally safe. Wow.
Hell yeah.
James, thank you so much for this experience.
Taking James's advice, I went back to Artist Alley to see if anyone could draw me as a new critter that I could find a real connection with.
So here we are. We're in the convention hall. But I've got to find out where I can take a fursona quiz. I got to find out who can sort of be my furry medium, if you will, and give me a little hint as to who I might be.
I just don't know where. The market's labyrinthian corridors unfolded like a fever dream, a pulsing artery of creativity where the air smelled of turpentine and ambition. Every stall, every shadowed corner screamed with color. Murals bleeding into fabric. This wasn't just a marketplace. It was a temple of the weird, the beautiful, and the gloriously unhinged. I wandered, a pilgrim in search of something. A reflection, maybe. First stop, I found myself being depicted as a grinning, carefree pup, all floppy ears and joy. Rough pup rolling, they called it. Me, apparently. A Sisyphusian dog rolling a boulder up an existential mountain. Cute, charming, but not me. Then out came the viper, a cartoonish snake coiled like a lover, a reptile with a nicotine habit and a taste for the dubious. Felt closer to home, but still, costume party stuff. Not me. Then the pièce de résistance, the 18+ section, because of course there was an 18+ section. Here I became Chuck Nasty, a moose ripped from a 70s beefcake calendar, antlers like a chandelier, a beard you can get lost in for hours. Absurd, magnificent, a Freudian fever dream of manhood. But here's the thing, kids, art is a mirror. And in this funhouse of strokes and shades, I saw my reflection fractured. Each piece true, each one a lie. But staring at those canvases, I felt that old familiar itch, the hunger that follows you home, even after the last shot's poured and the lights flicker on. God said it was closing time, but my soul wasn't ready to go. None of it was me. Not really, just shadows on the wall, stories half told. But isn't that the point? You keep moving, keep searching, even when you know the answer's probably in some kitschy restaurant half a world away, waiting with an espresso martini and a shrug. I still didn't feel that connection that I was looking for. The first day of the convention had passed and the second was coming to a close, and I was starting to get desperate. I knew I still had those foxes that Justin had promised, but something inside me told me to take a step back and seek some clarity elsewhere. So, we went to the one place that could offer guidance, the one place that could put me in touch with the world, the cradle of civilization, the Rainforest Cafe. Shakespeare often used the forest as a place of escape, where the normal transcended into the magical and the nefarious. In Midsummer Night's Dream, the forest serves as a refuge for the lovers. Oppressive patriarchal values morph and twist into a surreal, magical, and often terrifying storm. I thought the Rainforest Cafe would be a reprieve, but nay, it was the eye of the storm. The animals leered at me with their sultry gazes. I browsed the menu, but could only settle on 3 espresso martinis. The grandfather ape rewriting my mind.
Are you worthy to hold the title human?
The storm, the forest cat, the ape again! The lightning swirled into a halo, the white light illuminating a cheetah! Can you outrun yourself, Brother Chimp?
How long can you hang on to your facade?
No one else but me understood these questions. Tree Frog as Atlas holding the weight of the world in his palm. The Croc lifting its maw.
Stick your head inside, I will bite.
The noble elephant. Pain! 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 I came to the rainforest for clarity, but in the end, all I got was murky river water. I gained nothing from Grandfather Ape, nor Brother Chimp, nor the cheetah, nor the croc, not even the noble elephant. In the end, I felt exactly like the fish tank at the entrance. Empty, cold, and alone. I didn't want to go to the convention day 3. I was beaten down. I was hopeless. I was to blame. I was the fool. But at my lowest moment, Justin reminded me, there will be foxes. How was I so blinded? Of course, live foxes at the furry convention. It's as if I were in the room with Vermeer and that girl who wore an earring of pearl. The fox and the fur fox. I had to see it. I reluctantly went back the third day, not knowing what was about to happen. We searched for the foxes. We searched up, down, left, and right, and saw nothing. We searched, and there were no foxes to be found. And I almost walked out that door, but then I took one last glance behind me, and I saw a little furry red whisker. I gazed into the fox's enclosure as if I was waiting for it to speak, to have it give me that answer that I so desperately needed. My ears perked, but nothing came. As I stared into the fox's eyes, all I saw was my own reflection looking back at me. The fox meandered around its habitat, unaffected by the outside world, not looking to impress, not looking for external validation. The fox was just simply living, just doing what it does, doing what came natural, what gave it comfort. The thing that's beautiful about the fox is in its simplicity. We're so concerned about things outside of our control, of how others may or may not perceive us. It becomes a prison, a cage. But even in the cage, the fox remains free. Before coming to this convention, I was hesitant. Only the promise of this small, furry critter could draw me out. But after crawling out of my shell and meeting everyone here, I made some new friends. So go outside of your comfort zone. Jump into that unknown. Do something that scares you. Maybe you'll find that the things you were most frightened of weren't really that scary at all in the first place. Maybe you'll find that among those that you once judged, you can find new friends, new understanding. And maybe, like everyone I've met at this convention, we should all live with a little more whimsy. We should all be a little less afraid of what others are thinking. We should all do what we truly love, do what makes us happy, what makes us feel comfortable. And maybe even we should do a little more of what makes us feel weird. Because maybe weird isn't such a bad thing. Maybe being weird gets us one step out of that cage. The furry community taught me a lot of things over the weekend, but most of all, they taught me to just be me and not to worry about that outside noise. There's always going to be ridicule and there's always going to be judgment, but as long as you have a community of people who accept you for who you are, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to be me, and everyone at that con accepted that. They accepted me for being me, fursona or no fursona. They treated me like I was one of them. So, there was only one thing left to do.